Welcome, everyone. Welcome to your SBDC Business Bites. We are live. We are chatting today on a very important conversation here for Eastern Oregonians. Thank you so much for being here. We bring you a very short discussion, very practical conversations to help your small business take it to the next level. So if you are watching us or you watch the replay, also share a comment. We love to be able to know where this reaches so that we can, of course, support you, but also keep doing it. Keep bringing you great leaders. I'm Laura Torres. I'm here in BMCC SBDC Business Advisors. And today we are excited to spotlight a very important upcoming opportunity, but also the great city of Milton-Freewater, which is focusing right now on a great project and lots of small business growth behind the scenes. Our topic for today is two topics actually. It's going to be Empieza y Crece for our Hispanic community out there. But also, I'm joined by Art Hill. He's the president of the Milton-Freewater Community Development Partnership, and he's going to tell us also more, expand what the great work that Milton-Freewater is doing out there for small business owners, but also to keep Milton Freewater thriving and growing all towards great prosperity. So, Art, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us today and helping us create these pathways for small businesses in your community. Would you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Well, first, Laura, thank you very much for the opportunity to join you and your guests, and I really appreciate that. We'll hopefully make it the first in a series, and that way we can keep people updated on what we're doing. Uh, uh, some of the things that I considered before we started here were what we're doing now, what we're planning in the future, but particularly in the beginning to focus on this Empieza y Crece. This is a workshop series for Spanish speaking business owners and their key employees. And there's a little bit of background to it because we did this before. We did it about 10 years ago. So I'll give you a little background on myself and then a little bit about how it goes, how that workshop series goes. So, first of all, after earning an MBA in finance, I worked in commercial banking, software development, industrial automated systems, and with my own company in digital publishing and trading. During those years, I was engaged by companies like as large as Ford Motor Company to a dozen semiconductor manufacturing companies. And in 2001, I joined Blue Mountain Community College in Eastern Oregon as Vice President for Economic Development and Director of the Small Business Development Centers. At that time, we had about 5 different centers, same as now, in different regional cities. And it was a great gig. I really enjoyed it and met so many creative and entrepreneurial people that I carry that experience with me till today. When I retired in 2016, I moved to Croatia and I had some experience there before, but continued with my US clients writing feasibility studies that are required for their USDA guaranteed grants and loans, I should say. So that's a little bit of the background. I don't want to, bore everybody with any more else, but it's a little bit of information of why I'm doing what I'm doing, or we are doing what we're doing. Um,
Wow, what an incredible journey. Thank you so much. I did not know that you had this wonderful background and you were our boss, SBDC boss here at BMCC. What a wonderful jefe trajectory that you had, and what an incredible honor to be sharing here some spotlight as well and learn more about your great trajectory, which because of this great trajectory, and as you mentioned, you guys have done this great workshop in the past. So, what is Empieza y Crece Negocios Hispanos? If you may want to
okay,
expand on that a little bit.
that is a workshop that we designed uh, 10 years ago. We held it in Milton-Freewater very successfully 10 years ago in partnership with Rural Development Initiatives and Blue Mountain Community College. And the people who came were Spanish speaking business owners and their key employees, sometimes family members, because that's so important in small businesses. And they were very responsive. They were very appreciative of it. So we had the template, and that template, proven at that time, is what we're bringing to this current series, where we will conduct a series of workshops, and we are hoping that we can do it on 2 levels. basic beginning workshops, and then a little more advanced for those who are in business already, not just starting, and then want to grow those businesses. So the beginning ones, uh, we had everyone from someone baking, food products in a regional community, what do you call it, commercial kitchen, to
Sure.
light manufacturing, to contractors, and there were some real common themes among all those folks. And that was number one, how do I connect with the business resources in my community? I come uh, with some knowledge of English, everything from absolutely fluent to almost, non existent. And it really helped them in their own native language or in their first language, as it did me in Europe, to know enough of what was going on in Spanish. And so that's really what we designed it for, and hopefully what we'll be able to achieve. So it fits into my role in community development with the Community Development Partnership. I've been affiliated with them for a couple of decades. And at first, just reporting on education from BMCC when I was there. And now, as they invited me to be president of the organization, I'm in my second year at that. So we're really gratified to have the opportunity to roll up some of these programs and make them available to the community.
Wow, this is incredible. Thank you so much for leading and for supporting this incredible initiative, because it's going to definitely touch so many families. As you mentioned, it is very important for a lot of families, and sometimes it's not just the business for the one individual. It is a
Yep.
family affair for some Hispanics. But in your opinion, Art, why is a program like this especially valuable to Milton Freewater?
Well, the first thing is because, global statistics show that over 50% of all gross revenue, gross domestic product, is generated by small businesses. 70% of all employment globally is provided by small businesses. And over 90% of all registered businesses are what are called small and medium scale enterprises. So that could be range maybe up to 200 employees, but most are much smaller than that. So it's a huge and important segment of our economy nationally and worldwide. That was number one. It can't be overlooked. You can't afford to overlook it. Number two, there's the growth potential of both well, personal wealth on the part of the business owners and their colleagues, plus growth in the community of revenue into the community, use of facilities that already exist but need to be upgraded, uh, shipment of product and services outside of the area, bringing in monies from other regions, and so an increase of tax base. I mean, tax base, personal wealth, and growth of businesses in the area. And that's really what how we designed it, and what we hope to be outcomes. And we've got measures of each of those intents, so that we can check to see at the end or as it goes on whether we're hitting those goals.
That's exciting. Thank you. Wow, this is incredible. So, I'm listening today. I get excited. I'm in the community of Filter Free Water. So, who can participate in this program? Tell me more. How do I sign up? All the good details. Tell me. Tell
Well,
me. Tell me.
it's going to be offered in Spanish, but with English speaking facilitators present. So it will be for anyone in the business community who wants to learn about resources available to their businesses. Everything from lending institutions to marketing ideas for successful sale of products, product development. How do you develop a product so that it's ready to bring to market? And how do you know when it's ready to bring to market and what it looks like? And then all the rest: human resource development, development of community or leveraging of community resources, from legal services to
Yes.
account, everything, everything to do with to support small business. So the idea is to make it available to members of the community, business community, both Spanish speaking and English speaking, who can benefit most from this information.
Absolutely. Now, in your opinion, or in your assessment, as a great leader doing this type of service for so many years, what are some of those roadblocks or challenges small little businesses in the area in your community, commonly face?
I'll tell you, and you and our listeners are all very familiar with them because they're not limited to a particular location or region. They cut across all small businesses that I've ever encountered, and that is number one, recognition of and uh, what do you call it? Awareness of things like regulatory requirements. For everything from registering a business to product safety to market, allowable marketing activity and sales activity. So these are common themes across all businesses, and we will bring those themes to the workshops and also invite members of the business community who are themselves either business owners or service providers to tell our participants a little bit about what they see in their focus. It could be banking, it could be sales, it could be human resource management, all of these specific topics. And of course, one benefit, hopefully, will be to raise the awareness of those members of the business community of just how important our Hispanic business community segment is to their overall economy and to their health of their business.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all of those great, items that definitely are part of a successful business when we do take it seriously. And then, of course, we need to evaluate properly. And you're so right. These are challenges that definitely everyone in any location, for most part, we tend to overlook because we're so excited to go out there, fix problems, make a solution, and quite often get distracted with the making the big sale. But if we pace ourselves, take our time, and really collaborate in great projects like this in a more structured way, I think business ownerships could be actually a little more solid and go much, much more productive and with less effort. So now with,
Absolutely.
oh, go ahead.
Just an additional point, and that is sometimes the networking and the inclusion in the
Yes.
business community can be one of the most important outcomes because that becomes the basis for learning more and more about these other specific topics.
Absolutely. It's like, you never want to do business alone on your own. You always want to make sure that you are surrounded by a network, whether it is SBTC, your local chambers, you business development centers through across your own town. So, but for the sake of Milton-Freewater, though, or for the local impact and growth, of course, let me ask you, this particular, you did mention a little bit, obviously, sharing and spotlighting a little bit how important the Hispanic most business ownership is important for Milton Free Water. But in regards to everyone else, what is the bigger vision for economic growth that you see with local projects like this one? Not just obviously this particular one, but in general, all the projects that your organization takes under your radar and grow them. How does this really create lots of economic growth for the community?
You bet. Well, first of all, I'll start with our own local communities. For example, we got a grant to support our local bread basket, the food pantry called the Bread Basket. That's the name of it. And they serve not just Milton-Freewater, but all of the surrounding small municipalities, Athena, Weston, Helix, and they supply the food pantries or the food necessities in those communities as well as Milton-Freewater. With regard to the arts and industrial resources, we really consider ourselves a part of the whole Walla Walla Valley. I mean, it extends from throughout our county to beyond the border because we have the collaboration of the folks on the Washington side too. They're giving us resources, we're giving them resources, and it becomes a regional and then beyond regional with our relationship with the port and with other resources outside our small area, then we become a resource to the much broader region, state, and national economy too. So the vision includes all of that. And we try to focus, though, on making the most impact where we can best leverage our limited resources. For example, the grant that we got that supported this was from Amazon, and that was a regional grant that was available to communities throughout Eastern Oregon. And we applied with the vision that it would have an impact beyond just our local town.
Absolutely. Because if your community in Milton-Freewater is thriving, you guys are successful, then all of the surrounding area communities, when we come to support or when we are nearby, we all win. We're all connected. And so thank you and congratulations on this great accomplishment because this is definitely a great thing. As we get close to wrap up this segment with your great, thank you so much for calling and answering the call to come in here and tell us a little bit more about all the great projects you're doing. But what would you like to say to someone in a community, perhaps that has a business idea, maybe thinking if this is something for me, may not necessarily be near Milton Free Water, about maybe joining or how if this is something that is not so sure if it is for them. They're like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to be in a whole cohort formatting or a system. How would we change our minds?
Well, Laura, I'm going to point right back to you. And, you know, I don't get a commission for pushing the SBDC, but I'll
There
tell
we
you,
go.
my experience is that is the first stop for anyone with an idea or even a formed company that wants to grow. And the advisors are all, I mean, we all are business owners or have been business owners. So we're not talking theory. And then I know that you know that Jeff Nelson was my successor in the leadership of the small business development centers. And Jeff agreed that you and other advisors would participate in the follow up for these businesses who participate in this program. So I have to say, not a commercial, but a very important uh, urge the business owners and the entrepreneurs with a business idea contact your small business development center because the people there know the resources and have the contacts.
There you go. So you heard it. So in a good shout out to Jeff, of course, our director, and to Amy, our colleague, also another business advisor out there in Baker County. Thank you so much for the team. We're almighty team, but we're all here to support everyone across our eastern region. So thank you so much, Art. This has been a very enriched discussion. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all about Empieza y Crece Negocios Hispanos, but also all the great happenings that are taking place in Milton Free Water for all of your small business. Is there anything else that you would like to say or call to action for anyone out there who might be considering maybe connecting with you or just in general talking about business growth or just good old summer plans that maybe get a hold of you?
Well, you're absolutely welcome to email me at the email that you see on your screen. And if I can refer you or if I can help you, I'll be more than happy to. And for those community leaders who are interested in conducting this sort of program, get a hold of me and find out what we did for a structure, for materials, for registering students, the mechanics of it, and you'll see that it's not only possible, it's very feasible in your own community. So I'd say spread it far and wide, let people know about it. And if you can be instrumental in replicating it in other communities, go for it.
Absolutely. There you go. So always don't keep it to yourself, pay it forward, because the more we share, the more we collaborate, the more we're all going to grow together, and we're all here, one beautiful Eastern Oregon region. So thank you so much for watching today. Thank you, Art, for dedicating some time today to come in and educate us about what's going on in Milton Free Water and all of the offerings out there. And so, for everyone, please keep watching. We'll come back in 2 weeks with another great business bite with another great guest. And so, until then, share this, make a comment, and let us know how we can support you. So, thank you so much for connecting, and we'll see you again. Thank you.